Hello friends, welcome to I Watch Horror. I'm your host Matt, and today we're talking about horror in 1992, a year that blended practical effects, supernatural storytelling, and psychological terror in some truly wild ways. From cult curiosities to franchise heavyweights, this was a year packed with strange experiments and unforgettable icons. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment letting me know your favorite horror release from 1992. Alright, let's get to it.
The first time was just a warning.
We start the year on February 28th with The Gate 2 Trespassers. This sequel to 1987's The Gate continued the story of teenager Terry Chandler, who once again meddles with demonic rituals that open a portal to hell. While it didn't achieve the same cult following as the original, it's remembered for its creature effects and for doubling down on that mix of teen angst and supernatural chaos that made the first film so fun.
Comes the story of a man
Joe, come on, boy, let's go. Grass is waiting for you.
with the mind of a child.
Next up is The Lawnmower Man, released on March 6th, loosely, and I mean very loosely, based on a Stephen King short story. The film stars Jeff Fahey as Job, a simple gardener who becomes the subject of a virtual reality experiment. What starts as a scientific breakthrough quickly spirals into digital terror as Job's intelligence and power grow beyond human comprehension. Despite King suing to have his name removed from the marketing, the movie became a modest box office success and one of the first films to explore virtual reality horror, paving the way for other tech-based thrillers.
Charles Brady is new in town.
You could actually talk to him? Yeah, he's nice. Real nice.
On April 10th, Sleepwalkers hit theaters, written for the screen by Stephen King himself. The film follows a mother and son pair of shape-shifting energy vampires known as Sleepwalkers who feed on the life force of young women. Part gothic romance, part monster movie. It's one of King's stranger tales, full of wild transformations, psychic cats, and over-the-top camp. It's not the most critically loved King adaptation, but it's definitely one of the most memorable.
I unloaded a full clip 450 Magnum, point blank. It disappeared.
Then on May 1st, audiences got Split Second, a grimy sci-fi horror thriller starring Rutger Hauer as a cynical cop hunting a monstrous serial killer in a flooded dystopian London. Part noir, part creature feature, the film combines cyberpunk atmosphere with monster mayhem. Though it flew under the radar at release, Split Second has developed a loyal cult following for its gritty tone, practical effects, and Hauer's trademark intensity.
Was there an alien on board?
Yes.
A few weeks later, on May 22nd, David Fincher made his feature debut with Alien³. Following up two beloved predecessors, the film dropped Ellen Ripley onto a prison planet crawling with danger, and soon with another xenomorph. The production was famously chaotic, with multiple rewrites, studio interference, and Fincher nearly walking off the project. Despite that, Alien³ is now appreciated for its bleak tone, bold direction, and unforgettable ending. One that closed the Ripley saga in haunting fashion.
I just met this girl named Buffy. I'm Pike.
Pike isn't a name, it's a fish.
July 31st brought a double feature of horror-tinged releases. First up is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the original film that inspired the beloved TV series. Written by Joss Whedon and directed by Fran Rubel Kuzui, it stars Kristy Swanson as a Valley Girl cheerleader chosen to battle vampires. While campier and more comedic than its small-screen successor, the movie introduced the core concept and established Buffy as a pop culture icon. That same day, death becomes her hit theaters. Directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, and Bruce Willis, it's a dark comedy about vanity, immortality, and decay, with groundbreaking special effects that won an Oscar and helped shape Hollywood's digital future.
Take a look at her nails. See how they're cut and torn? Looks like she was trying to claw her way out.
On August 7th, Brian De Palma's Raising Cain was released. John Lithgow stars in multiple roles as a child psychologist with a sinister split personality. It's a stylish, dreamlike psychological thriller full of twists, mirrored imagery, and Hitchcockian tension. Classic De Palma in every sense.
My secret diary. Her page is messy.
Then, August 28th delivered two major horror releases. First, David Lynch returned to the world of Twin Peaks with Fire Walk With Me, a prequel that chronicled the final days of Laura Palmer. Upon release, audiences expecting quirky small-town mystery were shocked by its dark, harrowing tone, but over time it's been reevaluated as one of Lynch's most haunting and personal works. That same day, Pet Sematary 2, the sequel to Mary Lambert's 1989 adaptation, clawed its way into theaters. Starring Edward Furlong and Clancy Brown, the film leaned more into gory spectacle than the original's tragedy. While critics were unkind, it's since found a second life among fans of early 90s horror.
Now, the terror returns in mankind's final confrontation with evil.
On September 11th, Hellraiser 3: Hell on Earth brought Pinhead back with a vengeance. This time set in the nightclubs of early 90s America. The film expanded the mythos of the series and transformed Pinhead from mysterious villain to full-fledged horror icon. It's bloodier, louder, and more action-driven than its predecessors. Exactly the kind of chaos that made 90s horror so unique.
Ah! Hey, what are you, some kind of a freak?
A couple of weeks later, on September 25th, Innocent Blood was released. Directed by John Landis, it's a genre-blending vampire mob movie about a beautiful vampire who accidentally turns a gangster, played by Robert Loggia, into an undead monster. Part horror, part comedy, part crime thriller. It's a stylish oddity that's as bloody as it is bizarre.
In cities everywhere,
Candyman?
they whisper his name.
Right? Candyman.
Then, on October 16th, one of the most important horror films of the decade hit theaters, Candyman. Written and directed by Bernard Rose and based on Clive Barker's story The Forbidden, it follows graduate student Helen Lyle as she investigates an urban legend rooted in racial trauma and systemic violence. Tony Todd's chilling performance as Candyman and Philip Glass's haunting score elevated the film beyond its slasher roots, creating a modern myth that still resonates today.
Forget the textbooks, the diagrams, the cadavers. This is the real thing.
Just a week later, Dr. Giggles hit theaters on October 23rd. Larry Drake stars as a deranged doctor who escapes an asylum and returns to his hometown to perform some very unauthorized surgery. Balancing tongue-in-cheek humor with slasher violence, it became a cult favorite for fans who like their horror with a sense of absurd fun.
Here occurred the frightening and shocking history of Prince Dracula.
Finally, the year closed strong with Bram Stoker's Dracula, released on November 13th. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the film starred Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, and Keanu Reeves in a lavish operatic adaptation of the classic novel. Visually stunning and drenched in gothic atmosphere, the film won 3 Oscars and redefined what a modern vampire movie could look like. Equal parts romance, tragedy, and terror. And that wraps up 1992, a year where horror balanced old legends, new technology, and bold experimentation. From the haunting tragedy of Candyman to the decadent style of Dracula, this was a year that proved horror could still evolve. What was your favorite horror release from 1992? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip through horror history, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. That'll do it for today. Take care.